So I seen on YouTube where there was a thing called Destiny 2 Nuzlocks, and that got me to thinking, what if I were to do that but add D&D to it? Me and my friends are giving ourselves 8 hours in order to prepare for a D&D themed Destiny 2 Nuzlocke. And you may be asking yourself, Slade, what is a D&D Nuzlocke? This means you must dismantle equipped weapons upon death by rolling death saving throws using a d20 dice. For those that are not familiar with D&D, you have to roll a d20, and anything above 10 on the die means that you pass. Anything below 10 means that you fail. If you fail, you have to dismantle the weapon for that death save that you make. So you have to make 3 death saving throws in order for it to be able to count upon you dying. The moment that you run out of weapons means game over. You start from the very beginning and go through the new light campaign all over again. Also, using the first legendary drop in each mission is allowed, so if you happen to grab a legendary at the very start of a campaign mission, you are allowed to use that one, but you are not allowed to use any others for that specific mission. So if you get any after that first weapon, they must stay in your inventory and you cannot use them at all for that mission. You either have to dismantle it or go and put it into your vault or do something else with it, but you cannot use that weapon. You can only use the one that you get on the first drop in each mission. Now, something that we're going to add as an additional means of making this a little bit more interesting is something similar to what you would find in the Pokemon games, where that you get your starter. As it was shown in each and every single Pokemon game ever created, you get 3 choices of a starter. So what we decided to do was to implement this by also implementing D&D rules. That way that we could choose a starter when it comes to our weapons and a starter when it comes to our armor. So the way this is going to work is that we're each going to pick 3 exotic weapons and 3 exotic armor pieces from our vault for us to use. When it comes to the exotic armor pieces, we have to choose 3 subclasses that we want to actually use for the entire time that we are doing this Nuzlocke. We pick 3 armor pieces that goes with each of those different subclasses. Once we pick our 3 exotic weapons and our 3 exotic armor pieces from our vault, we then have to roll a d4 for each of the different categories. So a d4 for the exotic weapon and a d4 for the exotic armor. Whatever we roll on will determine what we're allowed to bring in with us. For example, if I pick 3 exotic weapons and I roll a 1 on the d4, the first exotic weapon that I picked is the one that I have to go and use for the entire time that we are doing the Nuzlocke. However, the rules upon death apply to this. So if I die and lose on the death saving throw, I lose that exotic, just like I would in a Pokemon game when doing a Pokemon Nuzlocke. Armor is a special case. You do roll the d4 to determine which armor piece you're going to get. However, if you die, you don't lose the armor piece. There is a negative, however, to this. Whichever armor piece that you select as your armor piece and you are chosen by the d4, that is the subclass and the only exotic armor piece you can use on your journey doing this Nuzlocke for the entire time you are doing this. So if you chose Arc, Solar, and Void, and you rolled a d4 and got Void, you can only use Void for the entire time that you are doing the Nuzlocke for this character. You cannot switch subclasses at all during the entire time you are doing this. There is an upside to rolling on the d4, however. If you roll a 4 on the d4, you actually get to pick which one of the 3 exotics from both categories you wish to get. So if you rolled a 4 on your exotic weapon roll, you get to pick which one of the 3 exotic weapons you wish to take with you. But if you roll any other number, the number that the exotic weapon or armor is assigned to is the one you have to take with you. The only instance where you get to choose which one you want to bring with you is if you roll a 4. So this about wraps up the entire gist of how this D&D Nuzlocke is going to work for Destiny 2. I will be playing as a warlock for my run, and the way that we're going to do it is that we're going to start from New Light and work all the way through every single one of the campaigns and do at least one raid before our Nuzlocke is completed. So we have to go through Shadowkeep, we have to go through Beyond Light, we have to go through Witch Queen and Lightfall, so on and so forth. But we cannot finish the Nuzlocke until we complete at least one raid. The moment that we complete a raid, the Nuzlocke is over. So expect a lot of deaths, expect a lot of funny stuff to go down. But I hope that this was informative, and we will see you in the first episode of our Nuzlocke.